Work that body.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jennifer Benford-Seibert. I am a proud member of KQED's Community Advisory Panel. We are a group of volunteer community members that supports KQED in the community by community building in the 9 Bay Area counties that KQED serves. KQED is Northern California's go-to PBS NPR member station. Our mission is to inform, inspire, and involve our live events programs that aim to bring our amazing journalism to the stage. You can see our full lineup of performances, food tastings, trivia nights, and more at kqed.org/live. Raise your hand if you are already a KQED member. Hands. All right. Great. For those who haven't joined yet, we'd love for you to become a member. Supporting KQED means supporting local journalism that truly matters. Plus, when you join, you'll get access to some pretty sweet benefits. Look at this list. Backstage tours, discounted tickets, a pledge-free KQED FM stream, just to name a few of the benefits. And now, we have an added benefit. Donate $150 a year. You get a KQED artisanal chocolate bar. It's made by Milena from Chocolate Bar, an East Bay chocolate company who has been featured on our stages. With notes of ginger and coffee, it reflects the global nature of the Bay. Scan the QR code to sign up. This code will also be on display in the lobby on your way out after the event. Stop by, have a look at our amazing schedule, and join us. We'd also like to thank the season sponsors who make KQED Live possible: Genentech, SF Symphony, and we are so grateful for their commitment to supporting our mission of civic and cultural engagement in the Bay Area. Without further ado, let's dive behind the scene of the Bay Area's DJ, nightlife culture, and dance music with MAKEROOM, HerDJClub, and Empire. Please welcome to the stage Nastia Voinovskaya, KQED's art and culture editor, and she's a DJ herself. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Hey everybody, thank you so much for being here. I'm Nastia. I'm an editor and reporter with KQED Arts and Culture. Make some noise if a DJ's ever saved your life. I know for me, the dance floor has always been much more than a place to party. It's where I have made some of my friends that have now become my chosen family, and also seen some really powerful organizing, whether it's mutual aid for our communities here in the Bay, or support for our brothers and sisters across the world in places like Palestine and Sudan. So tonight, we're gonna hear from some incredible DJs, event producers, and nightlife professionals who not only put on some of the Bay's best parties, but also are working hard behind the scenes to make nightlife more meaningful and more inclusive. So first up, help me welcome the mastermind of this event. He is the co-founder of the DJ collective MAKEROOM and the lead organizer of San Francisco Black Pride. He is also a rapper and a DJ. Let's bring up Jossie Curry, also known as Lunchbox. Hi, Jossie. Welcome. we also have 2 more fire DJs repping MAKEROOM. So let's give a warm welcome to Kilo Wave and DN. Hey, y'all. And we also have HerDJClub here tonight. How many people visited HerDJClub's booth here at the fair? Yes. So HerDJClub is an organization that not only teaches DJing fundamentals, but also helps women and gender-expansive folks break into the industry. So let's welcome the founder, Julia, aka Mercutian. Hey, Julia. And also repping HerDJClub, we have the club's co-professor, The Junior, and a graduate of the club, Nikki Diamonds. Hey, hey. And last but not least, we have a special guest from Empire. How many of y'all know Empire? So Empire started out as a homegrown small distribution label here in San Francisco, and in the past 15 years, it's exploded into a global force in music. So we have Empire's general manager of dance music. Let's welcome Moody Jones. Hey, Moody.
What's up, y'all?
So I'm so excited for this conversation tonight, and I hope y'all are too. I wanted to start out by just grounding us in our purpose and in our history in nightlife. So I'm thinking of how the dance floor has always been this place for healing and connection, whether it was during the AIDS epidemic with disco or hip hop as a place to organize against police brutality. So I'm curious, in your life and your career, what has been the meaning of the dance floor to you, and does it have a higher purpose? And Jossie, why don't we start with you and just go down the line?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I met all these lovely people on the dance floor, and I think it's honestly, for a Black queer person, the dance floor has always been survival. It's always been community, and it's always been resistance. So I am very lucky to live in San Francisco, first and foremost, to be able to continue the legacy of my ancestors. But it's really on the dance floor, as you mentioned, like the AIDS epidemic, right? We lost a lot of our elders during that time. So it's really on the dance floor where I get to learn about where I came from and all of the people who like are still here, who work every day in and out to continue to have space for me. So that's what it means to me.
I'd say for me, it's another space like home, another place where there's people that look like me, sound like me, and understand me.
Yeah, I think the dance floor for me is kind of like a safe space. That even no matter what is going on outside of this, few hours, we can all come and feel like deserving of happiness, especially with all these crazy times going on right now. Yeah, that's what the dance floor means to me.
Yeah, I mean, the dance floor was my first experience in community for me. That's where I met all of my chosen family. That's where I met most of everyone that's here, and how I continue to make friendships and connections. But most importantly is where I learned that I really, really loved music. And just that's where I had a chance to connect to music, not just as a DJ, but as a party goer. As I was sharing with some of my people earlier, I've been a raver since I was 13. And I'm 39 now. And so my love affair with music and the dance floor has been my longest relationship in my entire life.
Yeah, for me, it is definitely a healing space, and a space that I personally take as a therapy, a space where you could get your therapy. And I had a conversation beforehand about the roles that we play as the conductor of that, as the people that put you in the position to feel. So I do feel like as DJs, we have a vital role in that. in that revolution and in that resilience, going back to Frankie Knuckles, going back to a lot of the pioneers of the game that during those times they were the conductors of those revolutions.
Yeah, for me, I think there's liberation in the dance floor. It has been, it's intergenerational as well. It's where I feel like I found my queer community and I found myself, and I continuously find new versions of myself in the dance floor. And like Julia, I've been raving out here in the city for as long as I can remember, and it's the first time I felt like real joy. Yeah.
For me, the dance floor has always been growth. I think the most I've ever evolved as a human was on a dance floor surrounded by people that were nothing like me and exactly like me all at the same time. And the funny thing about it is people always relate the club to the dance floor, but the dance floor could be your friend's living room. Your dance floor could be in the middle of Embarcadero. It could be, it doesn't really. It's just a place where you're able to be free and not attached to any preconceived notions that make you behave differently.
All beautiful reflections. And Junior, you mentioned some of the people whose shoulders we stand on. So I want to hear more about that. What specific people, parties, or scenes do each of you feel like pave the way for what you're doing today?
You want to start with me?
Sure, yeah. Yeah.
Really, a lot of what we do up here, like MAKEROOM for sure, is one of my personal influences. Down to like places like Love Supreme, a family affair, which I resident DJ at. And a lot of what's coming out of El Rio in general have been places and parties of community, even if it's different. Shout out to Oasis, that has been a community institution for years. And so yeah, just different venues. I think for the queer community, it's just been different safe spaces that we can go, whether it is Oasis, El Rio, Mother, the cafe back in the day, like a lot of these different places. Like she said, she grew up in a rave. I grew up in the underground ballroom scene of the city, and we used to have like warehouse parties back in the day. So just building that community, those have become, just in general, just the industry have become those spaces for us.
Yeah, absolutely. I think growing up in the Bay Area, for me specifically, Carnival was a big music melting pot for me. I've been going to Carnival since I was like 5 years old, and I remember going as a teenager and seeing Sazon Libre. Sazon Libre has been doing, yes, give it up for Sazon Libre, please.
Yeah.
They've been doing their Carnival music or DJ booth for over 10 years, and they're continuously putting on beautiful events for the community that are community focused and just really a house for different cultures that come in, and they're really amazing people too, because it's important to throw on good parties but also be really good people.
I can go. So I was raised in Saudi Arabia, and then I grew up in Montreal. So when I was in Saudi, you can imagine the type of dance floor it was. It was not the safest dance floor. Something like being queer, being gay, being yourself, all of that went against growing up in Saudi. And then when I was 16, I was in Montreal, and I went to this club called Stereo. Stereo was an after hours that opened up at 2 a.m. on Thursday night and closed Monday at 3 p.m. just nonstop. No alcohol. They don't sell alcohol. It's just vibes. And every time I was there, I felt like a little wall in my brain was getting pushed down, and I was unlocking something new and learning something more. And that's why I said I was raised in Saudi, but I grew up in Montreal, because then I started to evolve a lot as a human. And it was like you'd stand in a club, and the left side would be gay, and the right side is straight, and the middle is curious. And it's, I'm serious, you know? And this is like 20 years ago. I'm aging myself, but yeah, like, and so going from growing up in Saudi to seeing this, I'm like, what the hell was I doing the last 16 years of my life? And then, you know, now I'm like gay fluent,
Love to see it.
But yeah, like that dance floor really shaped a lot of my career since then. It showed me how music can set people free. It showed me how back then you went to the club to not be seen. You went to be forgotten. You went to get lost. Now most people go to be seen. But that's kind of what built the bricks for me to go into this whole music thing.
I would say for me, growing up here in the Bay, the Hyphy movement was like so influential. I was 14 when Mac Dre dropped like Ronald Reagan and Genie of the Lamp. And it shaped so much of, I think, who I am, because the Hyphy movement is not just music. It was like a feeling. It's a living being. And it really influenced how I look at music and how I approach it and like my freedom of like expressing myself.
Yeah, I can relate to that. Yeah, Jossie, I know you've done a lot of history work, especially with SF Black Pride, but tell us about the elders that you look to.
Yeah, I mean, well, we live in San Francisco, so the Compton riots, of course, which was like kind of the precursor to Stonewall, if those of you don't know. Yeah, I'm very intentional when I think about like my specific space in life. I grew up in a Jamaican household, low income, so imagine what it'd be to be like this flamboyant in a household that does not appreciate it that much. So I was always looking for kind of like that savior, that elder, and I never really had them. But it wasn't until I started San Francisco Black Pride that I realized that we did lose a lot of our elders during the AIDS epidemic. And you really don't realize until someone tells you that, like, you were going to work on a Monday, then getting off of work and going to a funeral every day, right? And that's like your friends on the stage. And when you think about it, all of us have so much history. So for me, it was like realizing that all of us were gone. And the only place that you can find that is like the people who are left in those spaces, which are our elders. And I really think that we need to do a better job sometimes at reaching back, right? And reaching out. And sometimes it's only on the dance floor that we find those people. So for me, it's really about like, again, community. That's where I found people who look like me, who have a similar story, who share similar struggles, who want to be a new artist, who doesn't have a name, but who is just as crazy. I met this guy right here at a party at El Rio. Shout out to El Rio. I see Tyler over here.
We love El Rio.
Oh, we love El Rio. And we met at El Rio like literally right out the pandemic. And I was like, hey, my name is Lunchbox. I want to be a rapper. He was like, my name is Kilo. I want to be a DJ. This is before we were even booked anywhere, okay? Before we even had a name for ourselves. And that was a dance floor. And look at where we're at now. You know, that was like 2021. So here we are, 2025. And the dance floor is what brought us here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kilo, David, thoughts on those who've paved the way?
Yeah, thoughts? Thoughts?
Yeah, I think I want to start with just by saying inspiration is such a cross timeless thing. When I think about like even when we first started, we got into this space and we were inspired by so many people around us. I remember even seeing Mercutian DJ for the first time. Like me and Lunchbox was just like, yeah, we need to get back into the lab and like understand like how to be more of ourselves through music. Cause I feel like when we saw her, it was just such a pure energy of music where it was like, you can feel her personality through her music.
Thank you.
Those transitions.
And then
Top 5, I keep trying to tell y'all.
And the longer that we were in the community, we just kept, seeing so many amazing DJs and kept building our own sense of self in that, without even knowing the history of who paved the way for us to even be here, right? Right now, I feel like we're in a space where we're kind of going back and doing the research to understand like how to better show up presently. Some of the people that, I would kind of say that inspires me today is like Larry Levan, The Warehouse in Chicago, The Lot, like the freedom that kind of went with Studio 54. And we just kind of want to carry that energy going forward too in everything that we do so we can show up intentionally and, make music feel like a safe space, but also like a sound of revolution, especially when there's so much crazy things happening on around us. We want to make sure that the music is always intentional.
Yeah, I second that. Yeah.
Thanks, bro.
I mean,
I just want to say really quickly that I DJ'd one of their very first parties at El Rio. Do you remember that? And to see how far they've come as a collective is really inspiring as well. I'm really proud of you guys. And I just wanted to make sure to give you guys your flowers while we're here, because we went from just a small little table, little controller, and this speaker that lit up to now being here with you fine folks. And so feeling really grateful. So.
yeah, that's what the mutual support is all
Thank you.
about. Yeah, I mean, we know that Black and brown and queer people are so central to driving the culture of dance music, but often get overlooked for opportunities or made to feel unwelcome at certain venues. So can we talk about that and the need you see to make nightlife more inclusive, and what all of you are doing in your work to address that?
I just want to say this. We thrive in our nightlife culture off of the artists, okay? Bars thrive off of the artists, okay? Alcohol sales, they're dwindling, okay? But the DJs like us, the curators like us, continue to show up, continue to support.
Continue to drink.
And continue to drink, right? That too, even though, you know how hard it is not to, okay? I feel like, personally, I think it's been this mutual situation where we have been giving a lot into the culture, right? As just curators, as DJs, and the venues and the spaces also have been giving to us. But I think it's been pushed onto the DJ quite a lot lately to not only be the DJ, but the promoter, the curator, the marketing agent, the agent, whatever else. You know, you also have to be like hospitality, and you're just one person with no budget. So I think it's been an interesting time post-pandemic to have to take up all those spaces. But then, as all these people on the stage will tell you, we still do it, right? Like, we still show up. So, yeah. I will keep on ranting, so I will pass it now.
I was gonna say, can you ask a question again?
Yeah. What need do you see in nightlife for it to be more inclusive? Like, what do you feel is lacking, and what are you doing in your work at MAKEROOM or otherwise to make it more inclusive? Maybe like bring other folks along with you.
I can go if you're not ready.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so I think that in terms of club owners, venue owners, and spaces, event spaces, I think there needs to be a more collaborative spirit between the owners, the people that run these spaces, and the talent. I think there's a huge disconnect there because it's become sort of like I don't know, like the DJ events have sort of become a cash cow, and I feel like that's creating this this energy of, well, if you don't bring enough people, then we can't let you book our space. And it's like, well, I can't guarantee that. All I can do is give you this idea that I have that I hope Black and brown folk will come out for, but I can't guarantee that. And then they're like, all right, well, never mind. We can't give you the space. So I think just to sort of piggyback on what Lunch was saying, just give us the opportunity to do what we want to do, and do it out of love and not for ticket sales, not for head counts or bar minimums. Allow us to do our thing without any restrictions. And then, for crying out loud, have a budget for art, have a budget for promo, have a, you know.
If you want our Black dollars.
Yes. And I just want to, just shout out HerDJClub. We have a bunch of people here from HerDJClub. If you don't know, what we're doing is we're creating a bunch of women that are musically inclined. They love music and they are learning how to DJ. So that's the way I feel like we are making a difference in the community and overall. So.
Okay, I think
you could go ahead, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say the space for discovery, because when's the last time you go to an event and you're there and you discover something new? And I think in light of that, within MAKEROOM, I curate an event called Karma. It's a live R&B event, and we make space for up-and-coming artists. If you're a singer, if you're a musician, that's what that event is for. And we shed light on those artists, and you get to discover them and their new music and their ability. Yeah, I think just that part, the discovery part, I think is what's missing.
Yeah, to piggyback off of what everyone's already said, I think the way to keep nightlife intentional is by keeping the curation intentional. It's so important to kind of create a lineup or create a feeling in your events that is not just for, like you said, to get numbers in the room or geared towards a bar sales or bar minimum. I feel like a lot of times we get clouded by that, and we're like, oh, the venue's not going to want me back if I don't have $10,000 at the bar. But I think if we just kind of change our mindset around what is a successful event in nightlife, a successful event to me is like people are dancing from doors open to door closed, right? No matter who was on the lineup, right? And curating those kind of vibes or that kind of energy speaks way more volumes than, oh, we made good business tonight. And I think a lot of times too, like with me working at the Midway, a lot of times the energy is like, yeah, we want you to have that energy, but we still need to hit the business aspect of it. But I think once we stop thinking so much about the business side of it and just think about like the curation, the intentionality, and just the feeling, we can continue to pave the way and create more intentional lineups where people are just like, okay, cool. Like, I know it's going to be people dancing from beginning to end and everyone's going to have fun. Because a lot of the events that I go to where it's like, high ticket sales, everyone's just standing and they're looking at the DJ and everyone's on their phone. Yeah. Like just recording their, like, I was here. But, I feel like the ones where people are just dancing the entire time, no one's really doing that. But you really had to be there to experience that. And that's just something like that's not translating into nightlife right now.
I mean, I understand where everyone's coming from, but just to be that voice, we live in one of the most expensive cities in the world. It's very hard for someone not to give a shit. Am I allowed to say shit here? Anyway.
Go for it.
It's one of the most expensive cities. It's very hard for someone to run a venue or a club and be like, I don't really care about ticket sales. I don't really care about selling alcohol. It's tough. But it's also tough to curate a night where everyone's having fun when you got to think about that, right? So you got to carry that energy in the club and be like, we're going to make the most out of it. We're going to figure it out. I think with younger people, with the way things are shifting, what the issue we're putting in front of ourselves is we keep calling it nightlife. It's no longer nightlife. It's a whole day thing. People want to party from 9 a.m. with their coffees, which is insane. I don't know why you want to. I'm scared to go to coffee shops now. Like,
9 a.m. R&B party.
Right.
like this sucks. But people want to, so it's not just nightlife. Like music now is part of from morning to night, and there's other ways to be making revenue, and there's other ways to be doing stuff, and people want to have cool experiences. They don't want to go to a club. They don't want to go to a club and feel like they're forced to buy stuff, right? They want to feel like they're invited somewhere and they get to make choices and they feel that it's authentic. I don't know what's authentic about coffee, but that's what the experience they want, right? And so when San Francisco, when our city starts taking nightlife not as an entertainment business, but more as a cultural business that this economy needs, then things are going to shift. This isn't an afterthought. It's not a luxury to go out and party. It's necessary. Like, we're talking about growth and changing and discovery and meeting people. Like, how do people? That's how you meet people. You go out. You have to be outside. The dating app shit sucks. And
Well, Moody, I want to stick with you and talk about the record label side of things. So I know in all genres of music, artists in the Bay have always talked about you have to move to LA or New York to be where the industry is. And now we have Empire, which works with artists in the Bay and from all over the world. And I think a lot of people consider it, a resource. But I'm curious how you work with electronic music artists here in the Bay.
Cool. I mean, I started off... and when I got this role, the first rule was Gazi was like, hey, you have to move to San Francisco. And I was like, why? He's like, no, my whole goal is I want the city to come back and be the cultural, creative, cool hub it used to be. I wasn't here for it, but now that I live here, I need it to be like that. So I was here for this. I'm like, let's do this mission. We started off on the hip hop, then we did the Nashville, we did Latin, and then 3 years ago we decided to do the electronic stuff because that's my soul. And so we started the dance division. The first thing we did was we acquired Dirty Bird, which was a Bay Area label that used to be here that left. And so we bought the label and we moved them all back to San Francisco, and we said, hey, we're bringing back music, we're bringing back culture, it's going to be here. Then we built a studio, state-of-the-art studio, free for our artists to use. At that studio, we have a program called She's Right, where we work with Berkeley. We help women learn how to write, produce, DJ, everything. We're changing the name because apparently we can't use that anymore. And then we have one of our labels is called Noir Fever. It's an all-black LGBTQ label. We did a writing camp there. It was like 30 people in this room, and I'll never forget one of the artists. She must have been 23. She was in the room with Aluna and everyone else, and she was like, I never thought I would ever be in a room surrounded by so many people of color that are my idols and my peers. Thank God I was wearing my sunglasses because the tears were going nuts. But it was beautiful, and that's what I'm talking about, providing the means, providing the tools so that artists don't need to go to LA anymore. They can just stay here and we'll empower them.
Love that. Yeah, what other smaller labels or collectives or resources are out there that the rest of you have found supportive in what you do?
I mean, I think their name was said already, but Saison Libre, they are so supportive, and they're homegrown, and they really care. Love Supreme is also another homegrown collective
Rhonda.
that really loves and cares.
A club called Rhonda. It's really good too.
Anyone else?
Oh, I can go on forever. Bust Down Collective.
Oh,
Really
yeah.
rocking with them. Party Called Butter. Shout out Mel. We can go Hype FM. Close Sessions.
A family affair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scene also. Scene.
Yeah.
Sweet Tooth.
Yeah. Family
That's
Not a
Jossie's
Group.
party for those who haven't been. Oh, yeah.
Five Finger Disco.
Oh, Five Finger Disco. Charles
Hawthorne.
Hawthorne.
Shout out Charles.
We love Charles.
Tumber and what is it? Tumber and Reed? That's what you do?
Oh, Tupper and Reed.
There we go.
Yeah. They're a really good establishment based out of Berkeley where they allow me to bring in my students to get live practice. And yeah, they just hand us off the keys and we take off. And you know, they're one of the really supportive establishments that we work with, along with Kinfolks in Oakland, where we typically have our graduation showcases for our graduates. And Firehouse Projects was one of them too. Unfortunately, they're not open anymore, but we are at Art Together now, and so shout out to them. They're an art space in Oakland.
And El Rio. El Rio gave us our start. I met every single one of MAKEROOM at El Rio one by one. I'm not even kidding. I met each one of these people randomly on the dance floor at El Rio. And then El Rio ended up giving us our very first reoccurring event. So yeah, El Rio. I love y'all. I love Lynn. I love Tyler. Hi.
Also, big shout out to Mother for being one of the very few lesbian spaces in San Francisco.
Yes.
They kind of gave me a residency too, but that has become a safe space for women in the community. So shout out to them because they are always opening their doors, not only to women, but queer people of all of the diaspora.
Yeah, and it's so important to support those spaces. We've seen so many queer and lesbian spaces close. So, Jossie, I think you have to go set up for the rooftop DJ party.
Yes. We've worked really hard on this event. Do you guys like this event? Make some noise. Come on. Are you guys having a good time? Okay. Awesome. We're actually going to have an after party upstairs on the rooftop. If you haven't seen the rooftop, please stick around, at least just to see what it looks like. This is one of the first times that KQED has allowed us to see what we're doing. So I'm going to go get us ready. I have to say goodbye. Goodbye, y'all. But please ask questions.
Yeah, we're going to continue the combo.
Continue the combo. But goodbye. I'll see you upstairs.
Okay. Bye, friend. So I'm going to ask a couple more questions, and then we'll have time for audience questions. So start thinking of yours. But we've seen the city of San Francisco talk a lot about how arts and nightlife is crucial to the city's recovery. And I mean, they've put on free shows that Dirty Bird has been a part of. They've made it easier to throw block parties. And I'm curious, have y'all seen the ripple effects of this? Has it been helpful to the communities that you're part of? And what other kinds of support would you want to see from the city?
I would love to see those events be held at neighborhoods that I grew up in. Unfortunately, I haven't seen any of them in the Mission. I haven't seen any of them, in the Bayview district. It's mostly been downtown. So I would love to see the city, show us a little more love and show us a little more outreach to see what we got in mind. So yeah, that's my take on that. But they are doing really great stuff, because actually, Miss Nikki here, why don't you speak on that?
Yeah, I was going to say, I applied for Civic Joy Fund not too long ago and threw my first block party. And I live in one of the last working class neighborhoods here in San Francisco, in Visitation Valley, and threw it for my neighborhood. And there's people who came out who were like, we haven't seen anything like this in 30 years. So it was really nice to get that. And it's something that I would like to continue doing. So hopefully we can continue doing something like that.
Nice.
I think does anyone know the exact point where the city flipped? It's when they did the Fred Again party. After that, it was a domino effect, nonstop. I don't know. That moment is when everything changed. Last August was I don't know if you guys know this, but that was we had the highest hotel occupancy rate in the last 12 years. The combination of outside lands and all the other things. So the city is definitely moving in the right place. All these entertainment zones that they're popping up, like in FIDI and stuff, businesses are reporting 1,500% increase in revenue. So it's not just, it's spilling out of the dance floor and into mom and pop shops and into businesses and into families. This is why it needs to be taken seriously, because the more we're out, every time we dance, everyone makes money.
No, it's for real.
Yeah, no, I think I agree with, I'd love to see these new block parties come up too, but it would be really cool to see a block party in the Mission, or just even where, a lot of the culture is. I think even taking that a step further is getting more involved with the people who are already intentionally throwing these parties on a regular basis. If you really look for it, there's somebody throwing something that's already doing something for the community, and kind of highlighting them a little bit more, just to stay, kind of 10 toes down with, trying to uplift and emphasize on the community here. But yeah, that's just my constructive feedback.
That last thing, having some of these spaces just take more risks. A lot of these dope events or curators don't have the spotlight, but aren't being, they're just not taking the risk. They're too scared, but that's where the fire's at. The fire is where the risk is at. So just, take some more risks.
So last question before we go to the audience. So what's a piece of advice that you would give an up-and-coming DJ today in the Bay Area?
Easy. It's not that serious. It's not that serious, man. Just have fun with it. Just have fun. Yeah, it's not
Absolutely.
that serious.
Yeah, I would say to kind of have an ego death. I feel like a lot of, upcoming, or just DJs even now, it's always about me, look at me. But at the end of the day, music was created for inspiration, right? And I feel like we kind of lose the sight of that sometimes. So if you just keep it true to just having fun and the real intention of why you even created it in the first place, you can never go wrong.
I would say take your time to learn the fundamentals. The fundamentals get skipped over a little bit too much. And, we always end up having to go back and sort of backtrack on those small little things that we missed in the beginning because we were so excited to get out there. Trust me, I get it. I know what it's like or what it feels like to be eager to get out there, but it'll pay off if you just take your time and learn your style, learn what you like, and learn how, the basics. So just take your time. That's all.
My word of advice would be know your worth. Know the person that you are walking up to any set of decks. And also know your worth enough to know when you have to say no. Don't ever put yourself in a position where you may not feel good in the end, because there's not a comeback. Like, there's a comeback for it, but I personally don't go into a situation I know I don't feel good about. So on the other side of it, I won't feel bad about doing the gig. So yeah, know your worth. Never be afraid to say no. And that's pretty much what I got.
I would say I'm a graduate from HerDJClub, so I'm still in like my first year. I'm a little baby DJ, but don't get it twisted, I'm fly.
Know your worth. I will co-sign on that.
I would say find your community and then lean into your community, support your community. Like, there's nothing like HerDJClub, so putting it out there, if you're curious, do it. And like, just having y'all there, like, I've done it scared, and I feel a little bit fearless to like do things. Like I said, like, I applied for Civic Joy Fund. I did a block party. I threw a house party in my first 3 months of being a DJ. Like, but this foundation in my community made me feel like I can do this, and continually makes me feel that way. So yeah.
I think back to what you were saying as fundamentals. But the fundamentals are just taking all the necessary, like, pay your dues properly. Don't skip. Go outside, go to other people's shows, support their shows, pay for the ticket. Don't ask for guest lists, don't show up 20 people. Like, go support them so then they can support you. Go out, learn what other people are doing, see what you like, what you don't like, the smell of the place, the flooring, the speakers, where the DJ booth is, and then take what really jives with your music and throw your own party. But don't skip, open up for other people. Like, the art of warming up is gone, but like, learn how to like give someone else the podium, you know what I mean? Learn how to play to an empty room. It's just one of the hardest things. Learn how to play to an empty room and still have a good time.
Right. Wise words from our panelists. So does anyone have any questions? Don't be shy. Yes. And Paloma will bring the microphone over to you.
Hi guys.
So,
Oh, I think the mic's not on.
Check.
Thank you.
All right. What's up, guys? I'm DJ Rich. Thank you guys for your insights. My question is for Moody. Working with Empire as a local DJ, what do you kind of look for as maybe an artist that you kind of differentiate a DJ to an artist?
So are you saying, like, in terms of signing to a record label as a DJ versus signing as an artist?
Right.
We're in the music licensing business and royalty. So most artists that we sign are artists that have produced their own music or write their own music. We do have a lot of Empire DJs that are like part of the team, and you're gonna meet Clayton today, was one of them. What anyone should be looking for is, you know, for the last 50 years, A&R was always about artists and repertoire. I think that term is dated, and I think now it's audience and repertoire. So as long as you have some sort of fan base, it doesn't matter what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to be able to have a message, and you're going to be able to grow it. So as long as you have an audience, it's something that any label would be interested in signing and developing.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
Hey everybody.
Send
my
me a
name is
mix
Breeza. Sorry. My question is for Julia. Just wondering if you could quickly share the origin story of HerDJClub for all of us.
Thank you. So we started last year we started in Oakland. Basically, the thought around it was that I felt, in my humble opinion, that we were lacking a lot of female representation in the DJ community. I felt the impact of it when I was getting so booked that it was becoming a little overwhelming, and then I wanted to like pass the baton, but my Rolodex was like 1, 2, 3. And then I was like, wait, who else can I pass this on to? And so that prompted a thought in my head that, I would love to share what I know. I would love to teach people what I know. I'm not an expert, and I tell my students this every time. I'm not an expert, but I'm willing to share everything that I took the time to learn. I was a bedroom DJ for 2 years before I actually got out and and did a party. But essentially, we started off with 9 students in a not abandoned, but like a firehouse that it used to be a firehouse, and we were all just winging it. All my first season girlies, we were all just sort of learning how to do it together, and then from there, people just started, or more women started to show interest in learning, and so we just kept going, and here we are 5 seasons later. And we don't have any intention of slowing down. So,
Can I just say, like, you gave flowers to MAKEROOM, I'm giving you your flowers.
Yeah, shout out to you.
Shout out to you. Julia puts her like heart and soul into it and pours it into like every single one of us. And I've met some of my best friends there. And like to be in a community of DJs where I can be like, I don't know what this wire is. I don't know how to plug into this thing. Can you walk me to my car at 2 o'clock in the morning? Like, that's the community that she's created here. So shout out to you.
Thank you.
This is the sweetest group of panelists I've ever seen.
Yeah. We have another question.
Hey guys, my name's Jonathan. GMZ is my DJ name. And I've always seen creativity as the catalyst for social change. And how are you sort of taking on that mantle in your collectives and your organizations to really drive and use the channel of like, hey, parties, creativity, to really affect social change within our communities?
Yeah, I can answer that. I think that we first have to start off by not trying to fit into the already existing frame, right? I think a lot of times with even the things that I create, I'm always like, how can I push this a little bit further? Or how can I make this a little bit more intentional? How can I make this a little bit different or make this more me, right? Especially when it comes to just like the traditional party setting, it's always like, oh, let me just get some names people know, throw them on a lineup. It's going to be a great event, right? But taking that a step further, it's like, what are we actually partying for, right? How can this party benefit what's happening in our community right now? A lot of times, I like to throw events where we're like donating to someone or just giving back to the community in a tangible way. So even, for instance, like our next event, we're doing a food drive for the People's Program in Oakland for everyone who's affected by the SNAP benefits change. And I feel like that's something that everyone can kind of do or like get inspired by, being like, okay, like, yeah, we're having fun, but how can I let this fun go like a little further than once this party stops, there's something tangible to go back to the community. So to answer your question, I think is really just thinking outside of the traditional realms of what it means to be creative in a party setting and making it a little bit more intentional and taking it that one step further.
Another part. Also for me, because I sit in women's spaces a lot, I started a radio station that was actually a bar night at Mother. Ladies Love House Music. And I just so happened to be able to turn it into a radio station through Psych Radio. Thursdays, 8 to 10. Shameless plug. But
Plug away.
that was a shameless, but it offers spaces for women that are in the house space, whether it be DJs, whether it be photographers, whether it be promoters or talent buyers. Shout out to Afton at 1015. She has done a phenomenal job clap for my homie Afton. Yeah. She has done a phenomenal job of opening up the space for the queer community. So like, for me, I decided to use my creativity to kind of give us the space right along, with Julia and the work that she's doing with her DJ club, in order to give us the space that women in the industry we didn't have 10 years ago. Me and Julia talk often. I'm like, if we had a Her DJ club when we started DJing, we different level. But to be able to offer that to the community, now is just such a blessing. So I do feel like that's also a part of, giving back to the community in a way.
Yeah, and also we're living in this current generation of partygoers are really holding us accountable to amplify certain social justice issues. You'll notice that a lot of the times, like if there is a fundraiser or we're amplifying a movement, attendance is usually pretty, it goes up. So, you know, it's kind of the people are telling us this is what we want and this is what we'll attend. So it definitely keeps us accountable to utilize our platforms to amplify these issues and give back.
All very important work. Does anyone else have a question? Yes, see you in the front. Oh, okay, sorry, you'll be next.
Yeah, sorry, y'all. We have another question right here. Mike, hello.
No mic?
Hello. Oh, there we go. All right. Hi, my name's Andrea. I'm part of Psyched Radio. And my thing was we just did a Psych Fest, and we hosted a lot of events at many venues. And my question for you folks is, when you're at a venue, like what are some things that you struggle with, like before setting up or during an event, and like what's something that you're like, hey, just heads up, or like to audiences, you know, out there, like, I don't know if there's anything that you guys in your mind that you want to like let folks know, just to.
Are you talking about challenges and setup or?
Yeah.
Outdated equipment.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say that somebody's equipment is always old. The speaker's blown out. No booth monitor.
We make it look easy.
I swear we do.
We get there and we have to do what we got to do with what we got.
I think it depends on the venue. There isn't like one particular thing. And you know, even if you plan everything, sometimes it still goes sideways. But you got to keep the energy up, and you got to roll with the punches, and that's what makes a good event producer.
Paloma, I think we have one more question in the very front.
Oh, okay, perfect.
This guy's had his hand.
Coming.
Oh, okay.
We can do two more.
Okay, two more.
Okay.
Hey, how's it going, y'all? I am super ignorant DJ pleb. I don't know anything about this world from like behind the booth or anything like that, but I'm a dancer. And I noticed that there's these two different worlds that are so deeply related, and I don't know how they go together, but I really want them to. So I come from a lot of structured dances, things that are often partner dance, but in a lot of ways also solo dances like hip hop or like whacking or voguing or like things like this. And in the clubs and stuff, I see, you know, just like party dancing, right? And so these worlds feel very different to me, but I know there's got to be overlap somewhere out there in San Francisco, and I'm curious where that is and why is it that like these worlds feel so separated? You would think that like all these street dances would integrate a lot more with like what y'all are doing, and I'm curious if I'm just not seeing it or where is it?
I don't know if it's really separated. I think there just needs to be more dancers like you in the club. Like, if I'm DJing, nothing's cooler than a whole synchronized thing happening in front of me. I'd be like, are you serious? This is the coolest shit ever. Like, it's just we need more of that. And also, I know a lot of artists now that are also trying to incorporate bringing in like professional dancing into their routine. You know, I don't think it's separated. I think it's just we need more of you. Please invite more people.
I want to shout out Saforia that happens out at Rio. They have dancers who come in, and that was actually one of the first parties that I DJ'd where I was like, damn, everybody's dancing. And was like, this is exactly why I DJ. So
Yeah, it's literally a compliment. You're like, I'm going to send you to my next party. You should come.
I also feel like in that aspect, like I feel like the dancers curate it. So like the places that I've been at like are like seen that's Vogue inspired. One of the DJs, he does Vogue. The host is also a Vogue instructor. So those elements naturally, like Jacques is a Vogue instructor, been doing it 15 years. So naturally the community comes together and it becomes a space where people get their Vogue out. They'll split up the dance floor and people will go down the dance floor like you're at an old ball. So I think for me, a lot of it is curated by the dancer.
Yeah, and also we do have some party throwers like Black Panda back there. Hi, Black Panda.
Shout out to Black Panda.
In the last party that he booked me for to DJ had go-go dancers. Go-go dancers are kind of like a throwback too because we used to see them in the club nights back in the day, but it's kind of making a resurgence. So I think it's just a matter of getting together and figuring out how we can collaborate on that. But definitely bring your dancer friends to our parties, and yeah, hopefully those two worlds will marry soon.
Yeah.
You guys are on a time crunch. Oh no, you guys. I'm just being someone who's born and raised in the Bay Area, Mill Valley, and then coming to shows in the city. It's I grew up on the best music scene ever. I want to say too many things, so I don't. But I just wanted to say thank you. I think to all you guys for doing what you can, especially to Empire, to Gazi. You travel worldwide. You say San Francisco, someone's going to bring you guys up immediately. So thank you for everything you guys do. I was happy to see the revitalization of the Castro, booking the likes of Perfume Genius, a bunch of great artists and this and that. But then at the same time, the Phoenix is closing, where I just saw Kate Trinata. Great show. And then you talk about the Hyphy movement. I mean, there's so many more Hyphy movements that need to break out, and it's just it's hard because I see a lot of clubs and venues not taking the risk. But I think you guys brought up somewhere about collaboration. So anything we can do to help, please let us know. We're here to help. And the Midway, big shout out. I think you had said, yeah, I mean, you're literally on the map right now, bringing some of the hottest shows to San Francisco and really helping us tread waters. But I've put on shows, some of success and then some not a success because I didn't know I was supposed to sell bottle tables instead of when I've had a packed house, having so much fun to great acts and then the bar, being told at the end of the night that you owe money, and then switching it to the success side where I've sold out stuff, but it attributed to the liquor and all that crap when you really just want the vibes. So but thank you, I guess is what I really want to say.
Thank you so
to
much.
all you guys.
That was a great way to close it out.
Thank you.
Well, on that note, are there any events or parties that you all have coming up that we should add to our calendars?
I'm starting a party series. It's called Drip. First one will be at Mothership on December 13th.
And our season 5 girls will be graduating, and their graduation showcase will be on December 7th at 5:30 p.m. at Kim Folks in Oakland.
I will be at El Rio. Am I on?
Yeah.
Okay. I will be at El Rio tomorrow for Family Affair. Every first Fridays we there, so come get y'all 90s, 2000s fix.
I had to pull the flyer out, but Sunday we got History of the Bay.
Oh yeah, History of the Bay Day. Shout out to
That's what happens when you're booked and busy.
Booked and busy.
And then New Year's we're also doing the block party, Brand New Day.
Ooh.
Nice.
November 22nd, we're throwing the Silk Session season closer at Tallboy in Oakland. We're doing a food drive too, so if you want to come donate, pull up. We're giving all of our proceeds to the People's Program.
And we need dancers.
Yeah,
gonna need you.
dancers, pull up. Yeah, cool. Well, we're in there. I'm going to go to all of those events. And before we wrap up tonight, we're having a dance party on the rooftop. So let's head up there. But before we leave here, please give another round of applause for our wonderful panelists. And give it up for yourselves for being a great audience. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. We're going to head up to the roof. Let's go dance. Yeah, I know. Oh,